You're listening to Catholic Chicago. Ahead, the Archdiocese of Chicago brings you programs about the people, events, and issues that touch our lives. Thanks for letting us be part of your morning. Now again, Catholic Chicago.
Good morning and welcome to the Voice of Charity. I'm Katie Breedeman. My co-host Phil Zepeda is away today, and so I'm holding down the fort, and I am so glad to be here with all of you listening on WNDZ 750 AM here in Chicago, and all who are watching our live stream on YouTube and Facebook at Catholic Chicago. It's always incredibly inspiring for us to talk with kind-hearted people across Cook and Lake counties who volunteer for Catholic Charities. In their busy lives, they have chosen to make time to join us in fulfilling our mission to help people who are struggling find access to their basic needs and a path to greater self-sufficiency. One of the most dedicated groups of volunteers at Catholic Charities is the Women's Board of Catholic Charities Lake County Services. These lovely, dynamic, motivated ladies coordinate meaningful projects throughout the year on behalf of our programs and the people that we serve. They are planning a fabulous event in April, and we are delighted to have with us today 3 members of the Women's Board to provide us an update on all that they are doing this spring. With us are Nadine Shepard, president of the Women's Board, along with Natalie Reinkemeyer and Joni Reynolds, who are 2 of the 3 co-chairs of the Art of Giving, that special event mentioned that's coming up on April 29th. Welcome, Nadine, Natalie, and Joni.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, Katie.
Thank you so much
for having us on.
Oh, thank you all so much for being here today. Nadine, may we please start with you? The Women's Board of Lake County is an incredibly well-run organization. You hold monthly meetings, and have a variety of committees that tackle very big projects throughout the calendar year. Can you share with our audience how long has the Women's Board been in existence, and what do you see as president as the top goals this year?
I would love to do that. Thank you. The Women's Board of Catholic Charities Lake County Services was founded in 1989 by 7 women who wanted to do more for Catholic charities within Lake County. They saw a huge need there. And so they got together and wrote a mission statement that said that their mission would be to raise funds for Catholic Charities programs and services within Lake County, and to supply volunteer opportunities for this group of women, and also to increase the awareness of Catholic Charities within the Archdiocese of Chicago and within Lake County. One of the top goals this year that I have, and for last year, this is my 2nd term as president. And when I stepped in, obviously the pandemic was going on. So 2 of the top goals for me as president of this organization was to re-engage and ignite our members to come on back once the pandemic eased, and working with Catholic Charities Lake County services and programs. We were able to, things were opening up. And that has been one of my top goals last year and this year. And our momentum, and build the momentum again that we've had and exceed that. The other top goal is that we are elated that the Art of Caring, our biggest fundraiser, has been returned. And so, of course, that's been a huge goal this year, causing a lot of excitement, and again, re-engaging our members to work together to make it the most successful Art of Caring benefit that we've had.
It's an incredibly kind and generous philanthropic mission of the board, Nadine, and we're just so grateful for all that you and all the board members do to join with us in fulfilling the mission of Catholic Charities. Nadine, can I ask you to share some of the programs and services that your events have helped support this year?
I would love to do that. First of all, I have to give a big shout out to the women that we have and on our women's board. It's been hard to jockey again because of the pandemic, but when there was a need and we were asked, rally those troops, and they just come forward and help in so many ways, and we have gotten wonderful results from that, and we know that because of the people that we serve and the Catholic Charities personnel that we work with. But some of the ongoing, at least for these last 2 years, that we have always partaked in and have done, the back to school supply is sort of our kickoff in September. And we are asked to please have collections of school supplies that we then give to Catholic Charities. Our personnel right now, Lisa Rohde, who is the director within Lake County. We work directly with her, and the Christmas gift program has been long going. We have women that volunteer there. That's huge within Lake County. The Christmas gifts that they collect, and the Christmas gifts that are given to the numerous clients, has been long going. And our women are always happy to help there, wherever the warehouse shall be. It changes every year. With that said, I was our women's board that started for that program the Christmas gifts lunches. And some women had got together and knew that the numerous volunteers, and they come from everywhere really, when you work it, it would be a wonderful thing to have lunch provided. So our women's board took that on, and we provide hot lunches during that 2 weeks period for the volunteer workers, so they can come in and replenish themselves and revise themselves and then go back to work. So the Christmas gifts lunches, community suppers, we're asked to volunteer for community suppers, both in Waukegan and also in Highwood there. And that has been a program where our women have partaken. Our Welcome Home program, that's another program that's somewhat initiated within our board. That has been going on for several years now. Right at the present time, Gina Zazuk is the chair for that and has been for a few years, does a fabulous job. That program, we collect bathroom, bedroom, and kitchen essentials. When Gina gets a call from Catholic Charities, one of the social workers, she might have a family or an individual that has recently been displaced out of a home and now is into a new home. We provide those essentials so they can start their living again. And that has been a very worthwhile program within our women's board. And I will say, new this year, we were asked, it's actually not new, it was because of COVID, it had not occurred, but the Family Self-Sufficiency Program annually does a holiday party for their clients. So we have, in the past, supplied stockings, Christmas stockings for the children that come to that party. They were able to have it again in person, and we were asked to please supply 120 stockings, which, again, calling on our members, happily say we filled 120 plus stockings.
It's amazing.
And we're able to give those to the clients at the party.
That's amazing. Before we go any further, Nadine, can you give a phone number for anybody listening or watching today's show who might want to join? Because I've watched you ladies, and you not only accomplish so many wonderful things on behalf of Catholic Charities clients and everyone that we serve, but you have a lot of fun. Can you share a phone number or email? Can you share a phone number and email address for anybody out there who might want to get involved?
Yes, and thank you for asking that. Our membership is ongoing, so anyone who hears this or is interested, we would love to have you join our membership. The best source would be to contact Marilee LaMattina, and her email address is MLAMATTINA@CatholicCharities.net. She is our point person here in Lake County, and she will get that information to Sandra Adam, our membership chair, or myself. And we welcome everybody.
Fabulous.
Please come. Please join us.
Fabulous. As our audience has heard today, you guys really do an extraordinary amount of work and make such an impact in our different programs and services. And Natalie and Joni, can I turn to you? I mean, at the top of the show, we talked about how you have this wonderful array of events throughout the year, but your signature event is this Art of Caring coming up on April 29th. Can you tell us about this fabulous upcoming evening of entertainment and fundraising for Catholic Charities? Joni, may I start with you?
Sure, absolutely, yes. We're very excited to bring back the Art of Caring after a 4-year hiatus, as Natalie mentioned. This is our principal Women's Board fundraiser, and it starts with cocktails at 6 o'clock, followed by dinner and a live auction, and then ends with dancing to a great band. It will be held at Exmoor Country Club, if I didn't mention that, on April 29th. And we'll also be awarding the Irene Leigh McMahon Award that night, which will in memorial to our dear friend Buffy Rock. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. We've sent over 800 invitations, so if you received one, we expect to fill up or be sold out. So please get it in early, and with your check or credit card. And there's also a QR code on the invitation if you prefer to use that. Otherwise, you can go to CatholicCharities.net and scroll down to the Art of Caring event and send in your reservation.
Thank you so much, Joni. And Natalie, can you share with our audience a little bit about the history of this event? How many years has it been going? And what do you see as its impact, as the meaning that it has as a culmination of all your activities this year?
Sure. So we've been having this event for over 30 years. We did have a hiatus, so I think technically it's our 31st event. It is really impactful because, we do a lot of programs, but there's a lot of things that Catholic Charities offers that we just don't have the expertise to do, like counseling, Veterans Affairs, things like that. But the way we can help with those programs is through fundraising. And this is our biggest fundraising of the year. We expect to, make a lot of money through all the generous donations we have throughout our community. So it's really important. And it's kind of also the glue that keeps us together. We have this giant cause to work for towards, the end of the year. So we start out in the fall talking about it, getting excited about it, starting to plan for it. And then, it's fun, like all of our events throughout the year are kind of centered around this big cause that ultimately will hopefully raise a lot of important money for these really important Catholic Charities programs.
The word that keeps coming to my mind and talking with you ladies is amazing teamwork. The three of you are such kind-hearted people, and I know all your board members are. And like I said, we're so grateful for all you do for Catholic Charities. Our live stream has been showing photos of previous years of the Art of Caring, but also some program photos too. And so I hope you know how grateful we are for the significant way that you're making an impact in the work of Catholic Charities. If you please bear with us, we're going to take a break here on The Voice of Charity. And when we return, we're going to continue our conversation regarding the Art of Caring 2023 and the programs that it supports. Please stay tuned.
Caring adults make all the difference in the lives of adolescents. Catholic Charities understands this, and our mentorship programs provide a free opportunity for young adults to spend time with volunteers who genuinely care about them. This program is ideal for youth aged 9 through 12 who may need support navigating the challenges of childhood and early adolescence. Our amazing volunteers serve as friends who help youth recognize their strengths and empower them to reach their full potential. Catholic Charities conducts a thorough background check on every volunteer, and our program coordinator closely monitors and supports every relationship. Mentoring is a fun after-school program that can help young adults build confidence and enjoy fun activities with their peers too. To learn more, visit CatholicCharities.net or call 312-655-7970 in Cook County and 847-782-4224 in Lake County. We're connecting youth with great role models. Join us today.
People always say, how can you spend your day with 3-year-olds? Seeing the changes that they go through and just the journey and how they grow, this is a very rewarding job. Even though at the end of the day, we're not the highest paid people on earth. And when I have a parent contact me and say, my child loves school, that to me, I'm setting that foundation for their love of learning, because really you are changing lives, you are molding lives.
Shape the next generation of leaders. Teach. Apply today at archchicago.org/schooljobs.
Community is core to Catholic Charities' founding mission. For more than 100 years, we have met people and families where they are, serving anyone in need, regardless of their faith, gender, race, or ethnicity. As our world absorbs the economic, political, and social aftershocks of the pandemic, 50% or more of the 6 million people living in Cook and Lake counties have little or no savings. They are a paycheck away from zero. We are deeply grateful to everyone in the Catholic Charities community who partners with us to alleviate the suffering of the people we serve and offer them a better path forward. We are witnessing a message of mercy and hope to a world very much in need. Learn more at CatholicCharities.net.
Welcome back to The Voice of Charity. I'm Katie Breedeman, and it's my great pleasure today to be here with 3 members of the Women's Board of Catholic Charities Lake County Services. With me are Nadine Shepard, the president of the Women's Board, and Natalie Reichenmeyer and Joni Reynolds, who are 2 of the 3 co-chairs of the Art of Caring, a very special event coming up on April 29th. Jane Hinton-Keto is also the 3rd co-chair, and she's not able to be with us today, but I just wanted to mention her name because she too is working awfully hard to make sure this is a successful successful event for Catholic Charities. If anybody is interested in attending this event, we invite you to go to CatholicCharities.net and then please click on Enable Our Work and then attend an event. And that'll take you right to the Art of Caring page. And we invite you to look and learn more about it and purchase your tickets there. And so before the break, ladies, we were talking about the many ways that your women's board is helping everyone that we serve through our programs and services. Can I ask you each, is there any especially meaningful program to you? Natalie, may I start with you?
Oh, sure. Yeah, for me personally, I love the Welcome Home program. Nadine mentioned it. It's where we help set up living situations for people in need. So, and we get these requests through the caseworkers of all the different programs in Catholic Charities. So whether it's someone from Family Services or Veterans Affairs or any other program, a caseworker contacts our liaison, and we have this giant text chain with like 20 women on it. And, you know, someone needs kitchen supplies, someone needs bathroom supplies, and we all work hard to contact our friends or go out and purchase these things. But anyway, we get them to where they're needed within a day or two, usually. So that's a program that feels rewarding. It's really hands-on, and you really feel like you're making a difference right away.
Well, and that time element is so significant, Natalie, because I know I've watched you ladies get into action, and like you said, sometimes you get very little notice that a family's coming, they have nothing, and they need that apartment set up. So your drop everything attitude to help clients is really so admirable. How about you, Joni? Is there a program or service that's especially meaningful to you?
I would say the Christmas gift program, where many individuals and parishes receive requests for families to donate Christmas gifts, and they give us the age and sex of the children and also the parents and their sizes. And basically in a warehouse in Waukegan, we go around and fill that need, that bag, and then at the designated time, the family comes and picks up their Christmas gifts, and the looks on their faces and the overall gratefulness is very, very rewarding. But you really feel like you're making a difference.
That really is a powerful program as well. That's run, as Nadine said earlier, in a warehouse in Lake County that is generously donated. It's a very powerful Christmas experience. How about you, Nadine? Is there any program or service that's especially meaningful to you?
Well, I would also agree with Natalie and Joni, because the Welcome Home and also the Christmas gifts, when you actually work and see these clients, these people, and you're able to give, that is so satisfying to you internally. Probably, I could say, I think more rewarding to us to be able to help and show charity or mercy in that way than maybe the client. And they are so grateful and appreciative. But I will also add to that the community suppers, because I've worked those, and to see the clients come in. I've worked the one in Waukegan. Most of the attendees are young people, young children and teenagers, but we also have some senior citizens that come in. And then they come in, they're able to have a hot meal, and they sit and gather and socialize in a safe environment. That has been wonderful to be able to serve in that way. I will also add one other item. The clothing room, we're doing a spring clothing drive at this moment. So this is a new initiative for us. And after 2 weeks of collecting clothes, Sister Kate, who runs it, is ecstatic, because the response from our community has been very, very successful, and she's filling that clothing closet. And that just started in February at the Schreiber Center out in Round Lake. And so I think I will add that too, because this has been successful, and I have a feeling it's going to be long-term with us.
I remember reading about that, Nadine, that it's going through, I believe, March 26th. Is that correct? And so if
Yes,
anybody in the audience would like to contribute, coats, hats, glove of men and women, children, what's the best way for them to do that? Is it Old St. Mary's Parish in Lake Forest, correct?
Yeah, it's the Church of St. Mary.
Church of St. Mary.
And on Illinois. I don't know the address at the moment, but in when you go into the front entrance of the church, we have bins there, and we are collecting. And actually, it's if they will take all clothing, but right now they're sort of concentrating on spring and summer, if possible. A big need are men's and young men's and boys' clothes. They're, for some reason, maybe they're the hardest on clothes. I don't know, but there's a need. But that will take every women's, men, and children clothing, and you can drop it off right there, or actually contact Lisa Rohde at CatholicCharities.com. She will also be able to direct you to one of our members who are coordinating the clothing drive.
Perfect. That's the Church of St. Mary on Illinois Road in Lake Forest through March the 26th. Is a wonderful clothing drive that's fulfilling a need at our Round Lake Clothing Room that is seeing as many as 40 or 50 people coming for clothes every day. And so thank you for mentioning that, Nadine. Before we run out of time, could I just ask each of you ladies to maybe share a memory of when you felt especially proud or happy to be involved with the work of Catholic Charities? Natalie, may I start with you again?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I think one of my personal favorite memories is when I started out, the very first volunteer job I did was for Meals on Wheels. And I had a route up in Gurnee that I did. And then COVID hit, and we kind of put a stop to that for a while, but the Catholic Charities still, there was still a need out there. People need food. And especially the people that were most vulnerable during this period couldn't get out. So we would deliver boxes of supplies. And these were pretty substantial boxes. They were meant to last a month. So they were crammed with all kinds of things. And I remember one incident in particular where I was looking for this woman's apartment. It was during COVID, you're afraid to use an elevator. We're all in masks. We're all, keeping our distance. And I'm running through this apartment building, and I finally find this woman's apartment, and I get the box to her. And she was just so grateful for receiving that during this period. She literally started to tear up. And at that moment, I'm like, I am so proud to be a part of Catholic Charities right now. This is why I do what I do. So
what an incredibly inspiring story.
That was a heartfelt moment for me.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Joni, how about you?
Well, I would say many things, but I guess something I wanted to definitely mention in this program. Last spring at our final meeting of the year, the board of Catholic Charities decided to announce the Irene Leigh McMahon Award ahead of the event. Usually it's announced and it's a surprise the night of the event. So Nadine, our president, announced that our dear friend Mary McNabola Rock, better known as Buffy Rock, was going to be receiving in memorial the Irene Leigh McMahon Award. And Buffy passed away last February, a year ago February, unexpectedly. And she was one of the most compassionate and selfless women I've ever met. She was involved in her 20 plus years on many committees at the Art of Caring, the Meals on Wheels, and the Welcome Home program. She did it joyfully and is one of the most humble people and never expected any acknowledgement. And I'm really looking forward to this event, especially when her family and especially her girls see the impact that Buffy had in this wonderful organization and how many people she helped.
What a wonderful way to carry on her legacy of generosity and philanthropic endeavors. What a beautiful message that is, Joni. And Nadine, briefly, before we run out of time, is there a special memory that you have to share?
I will share this. There are many, but I'll share this memory. Last May at our end of the year meeting, we contracted up Roberti Culinary Pathways to serve us our luncheon. And the director, the supervisor, told me, before that event, Nadine, I have to share this with you. Many of the women that are going to be there have prepared the food and are serving you today. When they heard that they were going to be serving a Catholic Charities luncheon, were so elated and happy. And why? She said, because they said Catholic Charities has touched all of their lives in some way, and we're so excited to be able to give back to our group. That's full circle of charity and what we do, and showing Catholic Charities the impact it had on people, and then look at the beautiful return we got from that. So that was a beautiful moment to hear that. And I shared that with our group.
Well, Catholic Charities is so blessed to have all three of you and all your board members contributing in such a substantial way to our mission. We're so grateful. You do it all with warmth, professionalism, graciousness, and style. And so thank you so much for all you're doing in preparation for the Art of Caring. And thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Please go to CatholicCharities.net/Art of Caring to purchase your tickets today. And again, thank you so much, ladies, for being with us. We invite all of you back again next week for another edition of The Voice of Charity. For now, this is Katie Breedeman, and we thank you so much for tuning in and believing in the mission of Catholic Charities.